Today I thought I would film an updated version of my homemade dog food recipe. What I'm doing today is just doing a bit of a freezer clean out. Maybe some things are freezer burned, and I'm just, instead of throwing them away, did a little bit of freezer burn. I can just throw everything in my slow cooker over here and make dog food out of it. So I just checked. I've got, okay, I've already sprayed my crock pot here, and I put a big container. It was a big about 3¼ pound container of ground beef, and I just popped it in the microwave up here. Put it in the microwave just long enough to get it unstuck from the bottom. You see it's still frozen. And I did the same with this. This is another pound of ground beef, and this here is a pound of ground turkey. So I'm going to just put all these in, pop it in there just like that. And let's see, this one, the packaging is different, so I'm just going to pull it out, and you can see they're still frozen. And these are just going to cook over here in the slow cooker all afternoon. Now I've got about 1.5 cups of brown rice here, and I'm just going to sprinkle that over the top. And I just want to make sure I have enough to cover the top. So that's about 1.5 cups in this this kind of measuring cup. And then I want to put in this California blend, all that's in here. Let me dump it in and I'll show you. You just want to be sure and read the packaging. Where's the ingredients? Right here. The only thing in here is broccoli, cauliflower, and carrots. Nothing else. Okay? And then I had this spinach here. And again, the only thing in here, come on, focus. The only thing in here is spinach. So, well, let me smooth this out a bit. Okay. And I'm just going to slide that in too. Okay. And you see everything is frozen here. Now, I do have a can of green beans, and you want to be careful with canned vegetables. And of course the label's gone on here, but what you want to make sure of is you just want the vegetables in a can just to be the vegetables and packed in water. You don't want any kind of seasonings in them. And I'm just going to pour that over the top, liquid and all. And just a little over here. And that's about as much, yep, that's as much as my slow cooker here is going to hold. If I had had more room, I would have put some more vegetables in it, but it is going to be meat heavy because I've got a little 3¼ 4¼ I've got over 5 pounds of meat in the bottom of this crock pot here. So I am just going to, and it's still frozen, I'm going to put it on warm to begin with to get the whole thing heated up good, and then I'll probably cut it up on high after a little while. Okay, I'm going to put the lid on this, throw this away, and clean up a bit. I wanted to mention that you can pretty much put whatever you want in this. I do try to make it meat heavy because she's a dog, and you want to be careful with what kind of vegetables you put in there. I never can remember, so I just go to Google. But I do stay away from things like onions and garlic and peppers and things like that. There's certain things dogs can't have. And they can have the broccoli, they can have the cauliflower, they can have the carrots and the green beans and the spinach. But I try to have it, the majority of it be between the beef and then the rice, the brown rice. I don't like to use white rice. I like the brown rice for this. And I just fill the slow cooker up. This is probably going to take at least 3 hours, maybe 4. Once it gets, I'm going to leave it on low for an hour, and then I'll come back and cut it up to high once it gets kind of warm, and then it'll go a little bit quicker then. It may need a little more water. I don't know. I just have to see what the vegetables cook down as, because there was a lot of like ice crystals up in there, and because the rice is going to absorb the water and any fat that's in there. Of course, the turkey has practically no fat, and the beef has fat, so that kind of balances out the fat content. And of course, this is not the only thing my dog eats. She does eat canned dog food and she eats dry dog food. This is just something else to add to her diet, and because I wouldn't put her on just something like this, but it's a good way to give her a treat that she enjoys. She enjoys the homemade dog food, and clean out my freezer at the same time. But we'll come back and check on this in a little while. It's been, well, let's see. Let me start back. I let it spend an hour on low, then I turned it up to high, and it's been cooking on high. Probably an hour and a half. So what I've just done is gone through and, you know, all I'm doing is going through here and with my long handled metal spoon, just going through here and chopping with the edge of the spoon, because it's all ground meat, and the chopping is helping the vegetables get broken up into smaller pieces, and then just sometimes just lifting it, and I just want to get everything spread around really well. And be sure it's all tossed around. Everything's getting well mixed, and everything's getting chopped up into small pieces. And each time I stir it, I'm just going to go down and cut through everything. I'll let this cook a while longer, and we'll come back. See, there's a couple of big pieces of meat right there. So I'm just, you know, that kind of thing. Making everything smaller. Alright, I'm going to put this lid back on and let it go some more. Alright, I have just cut the crock pot off, and the dog food is done. You can tell it's done when the rice is all plumped up. Whoops. The rice is all plumped up there, so it's done. I'm going to leave the lid off and just kind of get some air to it so it cools off as quick as possible. But I would say it took, well, I let it go for the first hour on low. Everything was frozen. And then I cut it up to high, and probably every 30 to 45 minutes I came back and gave it a good stir and chopped any big chunks up. And so now it's done. The rice has all plumped up and is tender, and it just has to cool, and I can put it in zipper bags and freeze part of it and keep the rest in the refrigerator, and add a little bit to my dog's dry food, to my dog's wet food, whatever she's eating. And this is just a little bit extra food for her. She's getting old, so she needs a little treat sometimes. But that is it. This is the updated recipe for homemade dog food. It's just whatever I have in the freezer that I need to use up because it's been there a while, or it's got freezer burn. It's fine, but it just needs to be used up. Instead of throwing it away, I might as well cook it, and my dog enjoys it, and it actually smells good. I mean, there's nothing in here that people can't have. You can actually have it. It has no seasoning, though, so that's the only problem. There's no seasoning at all. No salt, no pepper, or anything. But my battery is dying, so I'm going to stop right here. See y'all later. Bye.